And welcome in. It is our latest Garnet Trust exclusive with Devonni Reed, who is our special guest today. As always, these interviews are brought to you by Garnet Trust. If you don't know what Garnet Trust is, go to GarnetTrust.com. Garnet Trust is basically taking businesses and fans and connecting them with student athletes like Devonni through NIL. Devonni, we appreciate you taking the time, man. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing well. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, man. So you're pretty freshly new at South Carolina. You just got in town a few weeks ago. You entered the transfer portal. Let's kind of start right there. The decision to be a Gamecock for your final year of eligibility. If you kind of had to boil it down to a few major factors, what was it about South Carolina that led you to this place? Being that you're from Detroit. I don't know if you'd ever even been in the state before you took that visit. So tell us a little bit about that decision to be a Gamecock, man.
Starting off with the weather, I just wanted to be around some good, decent weather. I was tired of the snow and the cold weather in Michigan. So that was a good factor. But going into more depth, I could say the coaching staff here, like Coach Beamer, Coach White, and Coach Gray, they like on my whole official visit, they were communicating with me. It felt like I was home already. I didn't even sign the papers yet. But I felt like I was home. And also the fans here, they're really like locked in with all the sports around here. They support each and every sport. These fans are very passionate about Gamecock sports. So that's another reason. I really like the fans as well because and on game day, it's like they bring the energy, and I could tell that they're going to bring the energy on game day or any given event that represents the Gamecocks. Also, the state, they got good food here as well.
Yeah,
To eat. I like to eat. I love to eat. I done fell in love with some good food spots here, and I just really felt like I was home on my official visit.
awesome, man. So you made the decision. By the way, before we get to anything else, everybody at Gamecock Central, we love to eat too, man. So we can't get any further without diving into that a little bit. Can you throw some love to a couple? Like what are a couple of your favorite spots? Is there anything in particular so far? Is it just the food they're serving you there at the ops building, or have you found a couple of local places that you're loving so far, man?
Really, like what we eat at the athletic building, like they cook for us and stuff like that. I just never experienced stuff like that. A big buffet line of food and basically all you can eat. Also, though, as I've been out here, I fell in love with Backstreet's Grill.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love it. I love that spot. Their chicken, the loaded nachos with the chicken. I fell in love ever since I had that. Also, Bojangles as well. I like that spot. So
Okay,
those are two
okay.
spots I've really been back and forth with, this past month as I've been out here. But Backstreet's Grill is really my number one spot.
Okay, so Backstreets, if you're listening, if you're watching, maybe there's an NIL opportunity here with Devonni. He was not paid for that endorsement there, but maybe we can work something out there. And so what have you thought of the job that Kristen Coggin? I feel like the nutritionist there at South Carolina, she is like an unsung hero in what she does on a day-to-day basis for athletes like yourself. As far as I feel like it goes a little bit deeper than just like putting food in your stomach. I think as far as everything I've heard, man, just the education about how important food is, making sure y'all get enough nutrients and protein, right down to the fact I know there's like cooking demos and stuff
Oh,
involved as well. I know you haven't been at South Carolina long yet, but how have you gotten to know Kristen, and what can you tell the fans out there about the job she does on a day-to-day basis for you guys?
She does an outstanding job, actually. I can know it's her and her whole crew. Like they're every day, they're in the building working hard. I've been through 2 cooking demos with them, and like it's been fun. They walk around, they teach you how to cook, they teach you like the right temperature with steaks. They taught me how to meal prep because I never did that before. I always see like people meal prepping when they get a private chef or something like that, but I've always been interested. 'Cause I like to cook myself, so
Mm-hmm.
with them helping me learn how to cook and meal prep has been very helpful. And also like, learning how to maintain my body weight throughout the week, just certain amount of portions that I need with meals. What about how much protein I need to get to this certain amount of weight? It's just a lot of stuff I didn't know that they were able to teach me in this short amount of time. And I could just tell that they're very passionate about their job as well, because they're in the building day in, day out. And she's doing a great job with her and her staff right now.
Yeah, meal prep is one of those things that seems like a good idea, but it can kind of be daunting to get started the first time, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a favorite meal that you've learned to cook? I know you mentioned steak. Is there anything that you've cooked so far that you've kind of been like, man, I'm just glad that I learned that. I might keep that one in the the top of my list maybe.
Oh yeah. So like I said, steak. They wouldn't teach me how to cook my steak to the right temperature that I wanted to. There's different ways to cook steaks, and I didn't know that till I got here actually. And I like to cook my steak with the rice, and then I get to put a few like green beans on the skillet for my vegetables, and I just throw it on there. So I have steak, vegetables, and rice, and it's good every time. I don't think I'm ever gonna get sick of it.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So you're getting settled in at South Carolina now. Let's reverse a little bit in time. You enter the transfer portal, right? And that's kind of the thing about the portal. Like you've played basically an entire career there. Like you got 4 years, knocked out. Like you've had like 1,000 tackles, I think, in your career at Central Michigan. You sort of stepping in the portal. What's going through your mind? Because I imagine it's like half exciting, but half you're kind of like you don't know which schools, which coaches are going to reach out. So there's a little bit of that unknown factor there. How quickly did it sort of take off when you hit the portal? How quickly was South Carolina involved? Like, just give us a little bit of that insight. That the day you enter the portal, what happens next?
Well, I can say this. I'm gonna start off by saying I was nervous. I was so nervous because I never thought I would be entering the transfer portal. I was just so new to this, and I entered the portal pretty much on my own. I didn't have nobody in my background to help guide me through this whole process, really, except for my sister. She has played a huge part. But because there was 1,000 I think at the time I entered the portal, it was 1,400 actually, around 1,400 kids in the portal at the time. So I'm like, that's a lot of kids.
Right.
And not everybody's going to find a home, unfortunately, but I entered the portal and then I fell asleep, actually. I fell asleep and then I woke up to 10 missed calls from a whole bunch of unknown numbers that I was like, how do you people get my number? I woke up to 40 DMs. It was crazy. But the first person to reach out to me was Coach White from South Carolina. That was the first person. That's the first person I actually talked to on the phone, and the first coach to offer me. And that was the first day, actually. The first day I got into the portal. I think actually, let's say I was in the portal for not even 3 hours, 2 hours. When I woke up, I had received an offer from South Carolina. That's another reason why I choose, the school, because they took a chance on me early. I always got respect for the first team that takes a chance on me. And I gave them a chance, and I really loved it here. But I was nervous from the beginning because I didn't expect to get this outcome. I started getting a whole bunch of offers, and I didn't expect that.
Right. So you enter the portal. Like you said, you're a little bit nervous, but then the offers start coming in. So you at least all right, I got options now, right? I got a home. I've got some really good options now. You end up taking the South Carolina visit. You talked about it a little bit when you kind of talked about why you chose South Carolina, but what was the first impression once you got down here? Again, you're from Detroit, you're coming to Columbia, South Carolina, long way away, a little bit, different part of the country, obviously. What was kind of the first impression, of getting to South Carolina, first impressions of Coach White? I mean, he seems like just a laid back kind of players coach that guys connect with, but what was your experience as you were just getting your first feel for the South Carolina program and coaches?
Oh, really well. So me and my family had landed, and they were waiting for me. Like, so the recruiting. So, uh, Allie and Skylar, that's their names. The recruiting they do with the recruiting. They were there waiting for me, so they picked me up and take me to the hotel. Now, their hospitality, first off, Hamos, I never experienced that before. Because in high school, I didn't. I only took one visit too, and that was to
Mm-hmm.
Central Michigan. So I never really experienced the hospitality that they showed me. So off the jump, everything was good. And then once I got to the hotel, I stepped off the car and there it is. Coach Beamer's waiting for me. Uh, so that was another thing, and just seeing him, getting a chat with him, his vibe was very authentic to me. Like I could, like, being in college football for for a long time, I done had like 5 different DB coaches, and
Right.
I had a lot of coaches, so I know what's real and what's not. And like I could tell what he was saying was authentic, and he wasn't talking just to waste his time. And also like Coach White, with Coach White and Coach Gray, because they talked to me the most on my official really, because they were with me. But those guys are very authentic as well, and I could tell like this coaching staff, they say what they mean what they say. And I respect that the most, honesty and being forward. You don't have to put on a show just to get someone to go to your school, because honesty is the best policy to me. And that's what also got me, in tune with South Carolina as well. And just driving, and also driving around. Detroit is it's like a city, so it
Mm-hmm.
gives me also a city feeling that I was missing. Because in Mount Pleasant, it's not the city feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like country like, out the way. But yeah, but here I got to see like big buildings, lights, stuff like that. It was just, kind of populated. It's not that big as well too. And I like it. I really liked it.
Do you so we've talked about this with some other guys, man. Do you think sort of like that word genuine kind of comes up a lot when people are talking about Coach Beamer and Coach White? Does that kind of lend itself to guys like yourself that are a little bit older, maybe a little bit more mature? It seems like when the guys are being recruited out of the transfer portal, y'all probably have a little bit better feel just for like what's what in college football. Like high school guys, maybe you get caught up in kind of the glitz, kind of the show, like you talked
Mhm.
about. Does that maybe lend itself a little bit more to guys that have just kind of been through college life, college football life? Do you think that kind of connects with people like yourself a little bit more, maybe than just a random high school kid?
Yeah, honestly, because I have been through all of that. I've been through all the glitz and glamour. I done saw the good and the bad. So, I was just looking for, a coaching staff that was, it's going to be very honest with me, very truthful. And us, coaching staff is going to be able to open me with, open arms and stuff like that. Have a second family, because I'm going to be far away from my family. So I got to say, who's going to take care of me the most, because I'm far away. So,
Definitely, man.
so that's also, but I feel like, with guys in transport, they're looking for more of a coaching staff that's going to, help them through the process, whether it's 3 more years or it's 1 more year left. But because once you're once you're out of high school, you're not really focused on all the the jerseys, what they wear, all the lights and stuff like that. You're not worried about that.
Definitely, man. So you end up choosing South Carolina. Was that at that point? Was it kind of like you take the visit? You're like, oh man, I'm going to South Carolina, or were you still sort of were you looking into some other schools as well, or was it kind of just like, oh, I'm home, like this is it, this is where I want to be?
Yeah, South Carolina felt like home right away, actually, but I didn't make that decision right away. I know, like before I took the visit, I had to make sure, how did the other schools. I had to give other schools a chance too, because I don't know what everybody else has to offer. So I was able to like do my homework with other schools, take everything that all the coaches had told me, and I was just like, marking schools off one by one, one by one, one by one, and then I was really only planning on taking one visit, and South Carolina won, that one visit, because they checked off majority of the boxes that other schools couldn't check off. So it was a nice deal, and I was able to go out to South Carolina, and I actually told Coach Beamer on my last day of my official that I wanted to commit, and we made that happen. But I didn't announce it right away.
Right. So you commit to South Carolina. What was their message to you? I think something we've talked about a lot on our site has been obviously the loss of Jalen Foster at safety, and that being a guy who was just instrumental in their defensive success this past year. All American, went from I don't know how familiar you are with his story, but went from walk on to All American. Great story, for him.
Mm-hmm.
Did they talk about just kind of that need at that position? And hey, we need somebody that's got some experience, some maturity to potentially come in and replace that production. Was that a part of the message to you or not really?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I heard of Jalen Foster a lot, and I actually got to sit there with Coach Gray and actually watch his film and stuff like that. And that's what they wanted to know. They wanted another safety to come in, with maturity and experience, to still help develop this defensive back room.
Okay, so you get to South Carolina, right? You've been there.
Mm-hmm.
How many weeks have you been in town now? When did you move in?
Really the 10th of January. So really going on like third week, I could say, third or fourth week.
Okay, I got you. So you're there. You've enrolled in class. Y'all are doing winter workouts right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this is a time of the year that the fans they hear about. Oh, y'all are doing winter workouts, but it's not obviously the season right now. It's not spring practice where they're like seeing practice reports and press conferences. This is that time of year where the fans don't really know what y'all are doing, but y'all are obviously working very hard to sort of get ready for the season.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe give us a little insight if you can to how is everything structured right now? Like, is it I'm lifting Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I've got this too. Like, how does the schedule work for a South Carolina student athlete as we sit here right now in January? I imagine you are with Coach Luke Day and that staff a ton right now. But if you can, just give us a little bit of insight on kind of how it works as far as the structure right now.
Okay, so with the structures going on there, it's kind of split up. So O line and D line, they work out first in the morning, and then it goes, linebackers, running backs, DNs, outside linebackers, stuff like that. And then my group is at the end, because that's around 10:30, but it's like wide receivers and DBs. But every morning before each group gets in the building, we eat breakfast. If your coach, if one of the GAs has one of the doors open, like for the team rooms, like some of the players, like I know the DBs, like we'll have player-led meetings, and we'll just go over the plays and stuff like that to fresh our minds. So when it comes to spring ball, everything can like move way smoother. So
I got you.
So right now, I'm learning the playbook right now with the rest of my teammates and stuff like that. Getting stuff in so everything can be smooth when the spring ball comes around. But we work out Monday, Tuesday, have Wednesday off, recovery bodies, finish some school work. And then we have Thursday and Friday. And then, we finish with a good Friday workout. And then, the weekend is yours.
Awesome, man. So obviously without kind of giving away any secrets or anything, how has the sort of process of getting to know the playbook gone for you? Is it, I think the thing we heard last year from a lot of defensive guys was that this was a scheme where they felt like they were comfortable like playing fast, like it wasn't really an overly complicated scheme. What vibe have you gotten so far? Is it similar to what you were doing at Central Michigan? Is it I imagine every defensive playbook has a decent amount of carryover. So what has that process been like for you just these last couple of weeks, starting to just get a feel for what you're going to be asked to do within this scheme, with Coach Gray and Coach White?
So like I said, I had like so many different coaches at Central Michigan. And this scheme is kind of like the scheme I had my redshirt freshman year when I had so we had a coach, I don't remember his first name, but we call him Coach Kobe. And his defensive scheme is somewhat kind of similar. Not the same, but it's like different terminologies everywhere. So right now I'm learning the terminology of the defense. But I have so much experience where I was like, oh, this play is kind of like the other play I had at Central, or this play is like just the checks and stuff like that. Just learning. It's pretty simple actually. It is learn the terminology. That's all. That's all I have to do.
So I hear guys use that word terminology a lot. Is that the most? I don't even know if you want to say difficult, but is that maybe just the biggest factor of? I mean, you've played so much ball at this
Mhm.
point. There's probably not many coverages or concepts that would be new to you. It's just more about making sure that communication part of it is locked in. Is that essentially what you're saying?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that communication piece is locked in because it's pretty. It's like I just said, it's very simple actually. It's just the fact that I gotta get my mind out of the Central Michigan. I can't. I don't want to say no Central Michigan play call thinking
Right.
it's the same. So just learn their language and learn how they speak. Learn how they speak within football. Taking that in. So I can speak the same language they can.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So what, big picture wise, what has the experience been like for you so far? Just being, you know, in an SEC program, as far as the weight room and being with Coach Day and just the entire just day to day operation here. Has it been what you thought it would be when you signed up? What has your experience been like through these first couple of weeks?
Oh, it's been great. It's actually, I got a lot of feel of it, on my official. So everything I felt on my official is real. So, coming in, eating, I gained around 8 pounds since I've been here. So, the fact, that they're getting me big here, this, the way they treat football around here is real. So I just love that, it is everything I expected SEC ball to be.
Awesome, man. So, Devonni, final thing here, man, for the Gamecock fans out there who are listening to this or watching this. Maybe if they haven't experienced your game yet, maybe they haven't seen you
Mhm.
play yet. Maybe give them a little message. What can they expect from Devonni Reed on the field? And what's your excitement level like for just running out in front of that crowd? It'll be here before you know it, man. You'll be suited up. You'll be running out there to 2001. 80,000 people. What can they expect on the field, and how excited are you to throw on the Garnet and Black for the first time, man?
Oh, well, they can expect, to see me having fun out there. That's my main motto, just to have fun. I'm gonna have fun out there, and they're gonna have fun watching me play. They're gonna see a safety that likes to come around, fly around, and hit. No fear at all. You're gonna see a safety that likes to communicate and control the backfield. I'm very excited throwing that Garnet. I'm very excited. I've been watching games, recent games like South Carolina, just trying to vision myself and me playing. And, I just can't wait to run out that tunnel, seeing all the fans, seeing all the faces, hearing all the screams. That's what gets the blood flowing.
That is South Carolina safety Devonni Reed. Devonni, we can't thank you enough, man. We appreciate you taking the time. Yeah, man. Good luck through spring practice. Good luck this season. We'll be watching, and hopefully this will just be the first, but not the last of the Garnet Trust opportunities that we have with you, man. It's been good. It's been good to get to know you a little bit here today. And for everybody else, if you haven't been to Garnet Trust, go to GarnetTrust.com. And if you contribute to Garnet Trust, you can help support athletes like this, like Devonni, like his teammates for ventures like this, events. Really, with NIL, there's no limits to the possible things that we could do with athletes like Devonni and his teammates. So, Devonni, we appreciate it, man. We're going to talk to you soon, okay?
Thank you. Go
Awesome.
Gamecocks.